right? So, right, and you multiply these, right, together. Point is 0.054 and the 0.35, right? And then, of course, you can't forget that this is out of population of 1,000, right? Because this 6 out of 8, this is out of population of 1,000, whereas these are just percentages out of 1,000, right? So we multiply this by 1,000, right? And we get that our coefficient of coincidence is, let me actually put that out. Our coefficient of coincidence is 0.70. Oh god, that's an ugly 4. 0.74, right? Is our coefficient of coincidence, right? So essentially, the what this means is that this is okay. So what it means, it will come more apparent when we do the interference value, right? So our interference value, right? Our interference, right, will simply be 1 minus whatever your coefficient of coincidence is. So for this case, our coefficient of coincidence was a 0.74. So our interference in this case will be simply just 1 minus that, and you get that the interference is a 0.26, right? And if you take a look at what these numbers mean, and whether it makes sense, or are you getting bogey bad answers, you have to take out what each of these mean, right? So interference means that interference literally just means interference, in that if you have a single recombination event, if you have a crossover, how likely is that to interfere with the ability of another crossover to happen? So in this case, if you have a positive interference value, right? For this case, we have a positive 0.26. That just means that the presence of one recombination does deter the presence of another recombination from happening, right? If you have, let's say, a negative, right? If our coefficient of coincidence was greater than, for example, 1, right? So that our interference was 1 minus, let's say, like 1.5, and you got that the answer was negative 0.5, then that means actually the opposite. That means that the recombination event doesn't interfere with the second recombination event. In fact, it actually helps it out. It makes it the presence of a single recombination means that you have an increased likelihood, an increased presence of another recombination. So an interference value of a negative is it's pretty rare in biological standards. But still, yeah. Other than that, I hope that answered some of your questions. Let me know in the comments. See ya.